At Neilville Foodies, and if you're not a Neilville foodie yet, before you do anything, I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Also hit that notification button so you can be notified once I upload my videos, and you'll be able to get those recipes immediately. So today we are coming with something that has been highly requested, and that is a chicken and dressing recipe. So for our ingredients, of course, we have our whole chicken. I also got a pack of sliced chicken breasts because I wanted to have plenty of meat in this dressing. So we're going to get those thawed out. We also have vegetable oil, our buttermilk cornmeal mix, our milk, and normally I have buttermilk, but I didn't have any, so we're just going to go with milk. That's fine. We have the stovetop stuffing mix. We have our chicken bouillon flavor. For our veggies, we have our celery, our onions, our green pepper. We're also going to have minced garlic. We have our eggs to do our cornbread. And for our seasonings, we're going to be using sage, poultry seasoning, and thyme. It's not real hard to do. It's very simple. The hardest thing you're doing is cooking your cornbread. And the cornbread, guys, does not have to be perfect because it's gonna change when you put everything inside anyway. So just stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, guys, so real quick, I needed to come back because I left out a main ingredient that you're going to need for this dressing, and that is the cream chicken. I'm also going to be adding garlic powder and onion powder to the chicken stock. But I definitely wanted to come back and incorporate this in the beginning of the video, so stay tuned. All right, Neilville Foodies, so we are back, and we're just getting our cornmeal in our bowl, and I'm going to give you the recipe for this cornbread. I am actually doubling the recipe. Now, the recipe is 1 large egg, 1 1/3 cups of milk, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, and 2 cups of your buttermilk cornmeal. However, because I'm making a big pan, we're going to be doubling the recipe. So it'll be 2 large eggs, and because my eggs are medium, I'm gonna be doing 3. 2 2/3 cups of milk, a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, and we're gonna do 4 cups of the cornmeal. So now for our vegetable oil, a 1/2 cup. Two 2/3 cup of milk. That's about 2 2/3. And then we're going to crack our eggs. And guys, it doesn't take long to mix up your bread, your cornbread mix. Just enough to get the lumps out. And so now we want to add it to a greased skillet or a cast iron skillet. And remember, because this is double the recipe, you will need a bigger skillet to put your cornbread in. So, and my pan has already, my skillet has already been greased with vegetable oil. All right, guys, so now what I'm going to do, I preheated my oven for 400 degrees. We're going to put this in the oven for about 45 minutes on 400, and or until, you know, the top gets a golden brown. So we'll be right back. All right, you guys, so we are back, and as you see, our cornbread has gotten a golden brown. We had it in the oven on 400 for 45 minutes. It came out perfect. So we're just gonna let this set, and then later on we'll start working on our other ingredients. All right, you guys, so next we are about to get started on the chicken. Now, normally I don't put my chicken in my dressing, but because it was highly requested for dressing with the chicken actually in it, that's what we're going to be doing today. So I took my whole chicken and we washed the chicken and my breast pieces. We soaked them in our vinegar and salt and lime solution. After we do that, we put it in the pot. And what you want to do, and something that I didn't have in the beginning of the video, because you're going to be using this chicken stock in your dressing, so you want it flavorful. So I'm going to add some garlic powder and some onion powder. And I'm also going to add my chicken flavor bouillon. So it's about a tablespoon of onion powder. About a tablespoon of garlic powder. And just to add to the flavor, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of our chicken bouillon powder. And what we're going to do now, we're just going to fill this up with water, enough to cover the chicken. And we're going to put it on the stove and let it boil for about 45 minutes to an hour. We want the chicken to be falling apart so it's easy to remove from the bone. So after we get our chicken boiled and everything's cooled off, we will come back and debone our chicken. Okay, guys, so I wanted to bring you all back to show you how our chicken has been boiling and it is falling apart. It is super tender. What we're going to do, we're going to turn the stove off, allow this to cool, and get ready to debone. While we're waiting on the chicken to cool, we'll go ahead and start working on our vegetables and our other seasonings that we're going to be putting in the dressing. All right, you guys, so what I did, I cut up my veggies, I washed them. We're going to get these cut up, and after I cut these up, we're going to come over to the stove and get them sauteed for about 2 to 3 minutes. I want to get them translucent, a little bit of softened, because I feel like it makes the dressing taste a little bit better. So let me cut these up and we'll meet you right at the stove. All right, guys, so we are back. We cut up all our veggies, our onions, celery stalk, green pepper. We minced up our garlic. We put a tablespoon of olive oil in here, just enough to where we're able to saute all our veggies and get them soft and help bring out the flavor in them to add to our dressing. We're going to get this sauteed. And real quick, I'm going to add peppers. And this is peppercorn melody. And I'm going to add my pink Himalayan sea salt, just to help bring out the flavor. And guys, we're going to saute this for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then we'll be ready to put our dressing together. So stay tuned. All right, you guys, so we are back. And I want to show you what I did with my 2 packets of the stovetop stuffing breading mix. I actually put them in a food processor to grind them up really small to add with the cornbread, and this just helps boost the flavor. So you add that in there, get that mixed around. Next, the vegetables that we sauteed. I'm going to go ahead and add that. And as you see, all the veggies are translucent. Next, we're going to add our 2 cans of our cream of chicken. So we're going to get this kind of stirred around a little bit. And guys, the key to your dressing is making sure that it's not too dry or too wet. And remember, when it comes to even down the liquid, when you're adding like your chicken broth, always remember a little at a time. You can always add, but you cannot take away. So let's add half of our stock. And that's what we boiled our chicken in. And guys, it looks moist right now, but it's still not enough liquid. So I'm going to add some more. But before I do that, we want to go ahead and add our thyme. We're going to add about a tablespoon or less. We're going to add some poultry seasoning. We do want to add a little bit more sage. No more than a tablespoon, because you don't want your dressing to be over saged. It'll kind of take it away. So mixing that around. And it's really smelling like dressing, y'all. But before we add any more liquid, I'm going to start. This is our chicken. I'm going to start pouring our chicken in. Get our chicken mixed in. So at this point, what you want to do is add more of your stock from your chicken. All right, guys. So there you have it. This is our completed dressing. I know it looks kind of mushy, kind of liquidy a little bit, but that's what you want, because when you cook it, it's going to dry out. And also you have to remember, when you take it out and it sets, it's going to dry out even more. So you want it kind of liquidy, but you don't want to overdo it, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to put this in the oven. I'm going to start out by covering it at first. I'm going to put it in the oven on 350 for about 30 minutes. Then I'm going to uncover it for the next 30 minutes so the top can get brown. So we'll be back after we take it out the oven. All right, you guys, so we are back with the finished product. I just took our dressing out of the oven. As you see, I did get it a little bit extra brown because I wanted to make sure that it was done all the way through, because this is a pretty big and deep pan. So I want to show you all the consistency of this dressing. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but that is the consistency. And this is, hold up. This is just taking it out of the oven. It still seems a little moist, and that's what you want, because the longer it's set, the thicker it's going to get, and the more moisture it is going to absorb. So you all can look at that. Pretty good. I'm going to get this plated up, and I'm also going to add on our gravy that we did. Let you see the finished product. This is our cornbread dressing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, share these videos on your page. Thank you all once again for tuning in. Be safe out there and have a blessed day.